Okay, let's unpack this. Remember, Tuesday, August 13th, 2025.
Oh, yeah. Hard to forget that one.
I know, right? I've been fascinated by this ever since. If you were anywhere on the East Coast, or, well, even further inland, across a huge part of the U.S.,
Yeah.
you might have looked up and seen something truly spectacular.
And totally baffling.
Exactly. We're talking about those mysterious, dazzling spirals of light. They just seem to sort of paint themselves across the night sky, appearing almost out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And the immediate reaction for so many people was, bewilderment, real wonder, and let's be honest, maybe a little bit of, is it aliens? Speculating.
Oh, sure. That always comes up, doesn't it?
It does. So tonight, we're going deep. We're doing a deep dive to explain exactly what those sky spirals were based on the sources you've shared with us.
Right.
But maybe even more interesting, we want to explore why events like this, even when there's a scientific explanation, why they ignite such a powerful collective spark of curiosity in all of us.
And what's really fascinating here is the context. Like you said, it was the Perseid meteor shower peak, or near it.
Yeah, people were already looking up.
Exactly. So they were already primed, looking skyward, and then bam, this completely unexpected, frankly, wild bonus appears.
Wild is a good word for it.
And the videos started showing up online almost instantly. You saw them from Maryland, New York, New Jersey,
All the way out to Tennessee, Illinois.
Ohio, Nebraska, even
Mhm.
Iowa. It was genuinely huge, captivated millions.
Yeah.
So our mission here in this deep dive isn't just to hit you with the what was it answer, though. Don't worry, we'll definitely get to that.
We will.
But we really want to dig into the why and the how.
Hmm.
How can something that seems so mysterious have such a big impact on, well, everyone's curiosity?
Precisely. And the descriptions people gave. Circling lights in the heavens, like you mentioned, appeared out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Just picture it for a second. You're out there, maybe looking for a faint meteor streak. Maybe you've seen one or two.
Yeah, just enjoying the night sky.
And then this incredible glowing spiral just starts unfolding itself across the darkness above you. I mean,
Wow.
yeah. WPVI, the ABC station in Philly, they apparently got swamped with calls and messages around 10:30 p.m. Eastern.
I bet.
People just desperately trying to figure out what on earth they were seeing. And Blake Brown over in Algonquin, Illinois, he saw the dazzling display while he was also out looking for meteors. He summed it up perfectly, just said it seemed to materialize.
Yeah.
It was such a contrast to what everyone expected to see, right? It just created this giant question mark right there in the sky for everyone.
It really did.
Yeah.
And that contrast, that absolute unexpectedness, well, it naturally made people's minds race, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Thinking about all sorts of possibilities from, atmospheric stuff to, well, other things.
Aliens again.
Maybe. But as we often find in these situations, the real explanation, while grounded in science, can be just as mind-blowing, maybe even more so.
Okay.
And that's where folks like Jonathan C. McDowell come in. He's an astrophysicist, a Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics.
Right. A key expert on that.
Exactly. He helped ground the whole thing pretty quickly. Said, look, this isn't some unknown weirdness or, a UFO. It was actually the visible result of rocket launches. Multiple launches, in fact.
Okay. That sounds surprisingly simple.
It does sound simple on the surface, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the way these launches create these visuals, how they interact with sunlight way up there, that's where the spectacle really happens.
Okay. So it does sound simple, but maybe the details aren't. And this is where it gets really interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because the main reason, primary culprit for most of those sightings
The really widespread ones, yeah.
was the launch of the Ariane 6 rocket,
That's the one.
which is this pretty impressive piece of engineering. Stands about 196 feet tall.
Roughly. Yeah, big rocket.
It lifted off from the Guyana Space Center, that's Europe's spaceport, down in Kourou, French Guiana.
Way down south.
And that happened around 8:37 p.m. Eastern Time that same Tuesday night, August 13th. Now, the Ariane 6, it's designed to launch all sorts of payloads. Heavy, light, Earth observation satellites, telecom, weather satellites, science missions, navigation.
A real workhorse.
Pretty much. And this specific mission, according to the sources, was taking a weather satellite up to orbit.
Makes sense.
I get to another kind of cool detail. It was only the third ever mission for this particular rocket model.
Oh, wow. So still relatively new.
Yeah, adds a little something to the story, I think.
Definitely. So, okay, let's break that down. How does a rocket launch, even a big one like Ariane 6 launching from French Guiana, how does that turn into this perfect glowing spiral that people are seeing, all the way up in New York or Ohio?
Yeah, how does that happen?
Jonathan McDowell's explanation is, well, it's fascinating and honestly kind of elegant.
Okay.
He confirmed the spiral was caused by the rocket's upper stage, the final stage, and it was tumbling.
Tumbling, like end over end.
Sort of, yeah. It was doing this as it went through what they call a disposal rocket firing.
Disposal firing. Okay.
Basically, it's a final burn to push that stage out of orbit safely, so it burns up on re-entry over an empty area. Standard procedure.
Right. Get rid of the space junk.
Exactly. But here's the cool part. The light, the spiral itself, it wasn't the rocket engine firing, not really. It was sunlight reflecting off the frozen plume of fuel from the rocket's exhaust.
Frozen fuel?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Think about it. It's venting leftover fuel, propellant, whatever. Out in the vacuum of space, it freezes instantly into this massive cloud of ice crystals. Kilometers wide, potentially.
Yeah.
And even though the sun had set for people on the ground...
Still sunny way up there.
Precisely. So this giant icy exhaust cloud catches the sunlight, and as the stage tumbles...
It creates the spiral shape.
You got it. McDowell put it perfectly. He said, it's a nice, perfect spiral because it's way out in space with no air to distort the shape.
No atmosphere to mess it up. That makes sense.
That's the absolute key. It's happening in a near vacuum. So this upper stage, trailing its beautifully lit plume, was visible across a huge chunk of the eastern U.S. and Canada as it went up, orbited near the North Pole, before heading for its planned re-entry somewhere over the Indian Ocean, I think.
That is genuinely incredible. So let me just make sure I'm getting this, and for everyone listening.
Yeah.
We weren't seeing fire like a rocket burn.
Yeah,
Just basically an optical illusion. Physics playing tricks with cold exhaust way up in the vacuum, catching sunlight.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. A trick of light and physics, but totally mesmerizing, right?
Totally.
And because it's happening so high up, like McDowell said, way out in space, no air distortion, that's why you get that perfect, almost unreal spiral.
Yeah.
It really shows how even, leftover stuff like rocket exhaust can create something beautiful up there.
It really does. It feels like, I don't know, cosmic performance art or something.
I like that. Cosmic performance art.
Now, okay, so Ariane 6 was the main event, the big spiral everyone saw.
The headliner, yeah.
But our sources mentioned maybe another player, another contributor, especially maybe for folks further south.
Right. There was another launch that night.
The Vulcan Centaur rocket.
That's the one. It launched from Cape Canaveral in Florida.
Okay, so different location.
Different location, and a bit later, too. Around 8:56 p.m. Eastern, August 13th.
And this one's even bigger. 202 feet tall.
Yeah, slightly larger. And its mission was pretty significant, too, carrying experimental navigation satellites for the U.S. Space Force. It was actually the Space Force's first mission using the Vulcan.
Wow, okay. So 2 big launches,
Yeah.
relatively close in time. How might the Vulcan have played into the sightings?
Well, this is where timing and trajectory are key. McDowell pointed out that the Vulcan launched eastward, heading for a high orbit, and apparently it was still coasting upwards, and this is important, without its main rocket firing around the time the big Ariane 6 spiral was most visible.
Okay. So no active burn plume from the Vulcan at that point.
Probably not a big spiral-forming one, no. So his thinking was if you were maybe down in Florida and you saw something between, say, 9:37 and 9:45 p.m. Eastern.
Right after the Vulcan launch window.
Exactly. It's plausible you might have been seeing the Vulcan's upper stage, unlit engine-wise, but still catching sunlight as it coasted.
So maybe looking more like a bright moving light, not necessarily a big spiral.
Perhaps, yeah, more like a streak or a bright point. It's hard to say for sure what everyone saw, but it's really important to emphasize, while yes, there were multiple rockets up there.
Which is kind of cool in itself.
It is. But the Ariane 6 disposal burn, that tumbling upper stage with the frozen plume, that was the main explanation for that really distinct, widespread spiral phenomenon that got everyone talking.
Got it. Ariane 6 was the star of that particular show.
Definitely the star.
Okay, so we've kind of unwrapped the how behind these amazing sky spirals, which is fascinating physics.
It really is.
But now let's tackle that equally interesting why. Why do these moments, these shared celestial surprises, even when we figure out the science? Why do they spark such a profound sense of wonder and, well, curiosity in us?
Yeah, that human element is huge.
It really is. Beyond the physics of tumbling rockets and icy fuel, these things tap into something deeper, don't they? It's like the basic human drive to just look up and ask, what is that? When something unexpected happens.
That fundamental
Well,
question.
Jennifer Piatek, she's the chair of Earth and Space Sciences at CCSU. She put it really well. She said something like, maybe we aren't looking at a star. Maybe we are looking at a satellite launch, a rocket launch that's still going to pique our interest and make us go down those rabbit holes.
And that's really what we want to do.
Yeah,
I remember reading that.
exactly. And she stressed, it all came from someone looking up and saying, what is that? That's the starting point for everything, isn't it? For discovery.
Absolutely. It's the engine of science, really. That initial, huh, moment.
It feels like such a powerful testament to just human curiosity.
And if you connect that to the bigger picture, Alexandros Gianninas, he's at Connecticut College, he made a great point about interconnectedness.
How so?
He noted how an event like this speaks to how interconnected we are. Because what happens instantly...
Phones come out, videos get posted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The moment they see something strange, they are going to point the cameras at it, post it, and ask everyone what this is, what's going on.
Yeah, that immediate sharing and collective questioning.
Right. And he believes that this raw curiosity is just, it's vital, even if the answer turns out to be something explainable, like a rocket launch.
Right. The asking is the important part.
He basically said, in this case, it's something explainable, but even when it's not, it's good for people to be curious and to ask questions.
I love that.
And Gianninas also encourages people sharing these observations. Why? Because it gives scientists a chance to engage with the public, you know, provide context.
Explain the cool science.
Yeah, and maybe, just maybe, inspire the next generation of scientists, kids who see this stuff and think, wow, I want to understand that.
That's such a great point.
Yeah.
Which actually raises another important question, doesn't it? How do we actually nurture that curiosity, especially in kids?
Mm-hmm. And there is that lovely little anecdote in the sources about the two young space fans, Hudson and Thomas.
Oh, yeah. They didn't believe it was a rocket at first.
Right. Thomas apparently asked, why would a rocket be shaped like a circle?
Which is a perfectly logical question.
Yeah.
If you think about a rocket blasting off, you don't picture a spiral.
Exactly. It shows they're thinking critically. And as Jennifer Piatek pointed out, that's the perfect learning moment.
Yeah.
That question is the start of understanding the physics we just talked about.
Right.
Piatek said, that's all we were asking. Learn a little bit every day. It's not about knowing everything instantly. It's about firing up that curiosity, that initial spark.
And that really sums up our journey tonight, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We went from this baffling sky mystery that had, half the country buzzing.
Definitely buzzing.
To a clear scientific explanation, but one that's packed with these surprising, almost poetic details about light and frozen fuel and tumbling metal creating beauty.
Yeah.
It's just such a powerful reminder that the universe, even the bits we put up there ourselves, keeps offering these truly stunning sights.
Yeah.
And endless chances to learn. The fact that the vacuum of space, which we usually think of as just empty,
Right, as nothingness.
is actually what allows this incredible visual artistry to happen. It just makes you wonder what else is out there, natural or human-made, just waiting for us to look up and ask, what is that?
It does. And, knowledge is great, but it's most valuable when it's understood and maybe applied somehow.
Yeah.
So maybe the next time you, listening right now, look up and see something you don't immediately recognize. Embrace that what is that moment. Don't see it as confusing. See it as a starting point.
A doorway to understanding something new.
Exactly.
I
Because
get-
there's always more to learn, isn't there? And hearing different perspectives, whether it's from a top astrophysicist or a curious kid asking why a rocket is shaped like a circle, all of it just enriches our understanding.
So well said. We absolutely love going down these kinds of rabbit holes with you. If you found this deep dive as fascinating as we did,
And it was pretty fascinating.
it really was. Make sure you subscribe to The Deep Dive. We bring you more insights and surprising facts like this every single week.
And hey, if you have a thought about tonight's revelation, the cosmic performance art, perhaps?
Yeah.
Or if there's another mystery, another topic you'd love for us to unpack and explore together, definitely share it in the comments below. We're always really curious about what stands out to you and what questions you're asking.